Barbie is a very inventive film, but in individual scenes it is influenced by other movies. One is The Heaven Scene, and this goes back not just to one but to many films, and most of them were made in the 40s. I'm introducing you to some of these films. Most of them are comedies, but their backdrop is not funny at all. Consequently, the funniest film doesn't care about this or anything and starts with a hell scene. In Barbie, the heaven scene is actually at the end of the film, when it is about being a doll or human. So heaven is not in the center of the Barbie story, while the driver for the 40s film actually is the mortality. Not surprisingly, some Christmas films use this feature. Most famously in It's a Wonderful Life, the angel Clarence is sent down to save the suicidal character played by James Stewart. We only see some stars as heaven and hear the ringing of something that indicates that an angel earned his wings.
So I could get my wings. Uh-oh. Every time you hear a bell rings, it means that some angel's just got his wings.
In The Bishop's Wife, the heaven is not depicted visually, but with some magic action by the angel Cary Grant. The studio was so proud of its film that it didn't want to reveal anything.
Well, if you put it that way.
Thanks, officer.
I got an idea.
What?
The Bishop's Wife is different. Let's keep it that way. Let's have no trailer.
David, a picture without a trailer?
No, that's it. Why?
Portrait of Jenny was not a Christmas film and not a comedy. There isn't an intervention through heaven either, but the main character is actually not alive anymore. It could be seen as a ghost film, but the way it was made, it fits rather in the heaven films of the 40s. I believe the first film of this subgenre was Here Comes Mr. Jordan. A prize fighter has a plane accident, but was not supposed to die, so he gets a second chance in different bodies. This heaven scene looks very much like Barbie's. The film is funny, has a great cinematography and is wonderfully acted. It was based on the play Heaven Can Wait by Harry Segal, but Columbia Pictures didn't have the rights on the
Are
title.
you the boss here? Mr. Pendleton, a little more respect. This is Mr. Jordan. Look, Mr. Jordan, I want to get a plane for New York. Who do I see about a ticket?
What is the meaning of this?
Warren Beatty made a remake in '78, playing a quarterback. This film was called like the play. There was even a sequel called Down to Earth, which then was remade as a musical, Xanadu, in 1900. Some of you might know that there is a film in the 40s called Heaven Can Wait. This film was actually more about the choice between heaven or hell. We don't see heaven or hell. We find ourselves in something which could be called the entrance hall to, well,
I have no illusions. I know the life I live. I know where I belong. I would like to get it over as quickly as possible.
Very well. If you meet our requirements, we'll be only too glad to accommodate you. Would you be good enough to mention, for instance, some outstanding crime you've committed?
The director was the legend Ernst Lubitsch. As you would expect, for him the decision about going to heaven or hell for Casanova was not so straightforward. By the way, this film was based on a play as well. The title, Birthday, by Leslie Bush Fekete. Heaven Can Wait was certainly the better title, and it was available for 20th Century Fox. The most outstanding film of this subgenre is the British A Matter of Life and Death by Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. It isn't a comedy but a fantasy romance film, where a pilot played by David Niven gets another chance. This film indicates the reason why heaven became a popular feature in the 40s. The 40s were dominated by war. Fantasizing about life and death was a cathartic way to deal with the possibility of a premature end of life.
I do love her.
Would you die for him?
I would, but I'd rather live.
As mentioned in following decades, there were remakes. Also other films use the theme of life after death, but rarely in this innocent, rather light-hearted way. And now there is this funniest of them all. It starts with a scene in hell, and the film was called Hell's a Poppin'. Actually, it has nothing to do with heaven or mortality or anything else. It also has nothing to do with sense or even common sense. It is one of the wildest, weirdest, funniest, most fantastic comedies ever made, with one of the most iconic dance scenes ever shot. For the avoidance of doubt, Barbie hasn't referred to Elsa Poppet. So why do I mention it now? Well, because after all these films about heaven, it made perfectly sense to me. I hope you liked this episode. If there are other films that fit into the category Heaven films of the 40s, please mention them in the comments.